Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Here we go! Oh! Oh no! Oh my god! No way! Oh! It's Saber Oh, look at these fights! Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Let's Talk About It, the show where we talk about everything going on in the movie, TV, and video game world. I'm your host, and I go out and find topics that interest me, and I think they're going to interest you guys, topics that, I really want to talk about, maybe get some input from you guys as well, and I just want to have a good time on the show, talking about movie stuff, talking about comic books, video games, like all that stuff. I just want to talk about it with you guys. I just want to kind of use this show as like kind of me just to talk about it with you guys, because there's stuff I want to talk about with you guys, stuff going on in that world that I really want to talk about. And with all that out of the way, please make sure you press that button right here, the subscribe button. See the little button? Press it. You just press that button at the bottom of your YouTube page. It helps out the channel so much. It helps out like greatly. But with all that out of the way, let's move on to our first topic here today. And that is this. We have a live-action He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie coming, and I'm beyond excited for this. Beyond excited. But there is another person, I believe, kind of related to that world that people absolutely love, and that is She-Ra. And they did do a Netflix animated series, a couple years ago, which I watched the first few episodes of that. And, it was definitely, not for me. It was definitely, for a younger generation. But I did think that animation was really great. And, since we have this live-action He-Man coming, people are wondering, are we ever going to see She-Ra in the live-action form? Well, according to comicmovie.com, she is coming. According to them, She-Ra Prime Video live-action series moves forward with writer Heidi Shirek. Maybe I'm reading that last name wrong. There is a sentence in there I don't want to say because of YouTube reasons, but you get the gist. You can read it on the screen. So we're getting a She-Ra series. We first kind of heard about this back in 2021. That it was in development in 2021, but never really got official word that this project actually exists. And this is also according to Variety also wrote an article about this. And this is also being done by DreamWorks. DreamWorks, they're very much an animation company. We don't really see DreamWorks do a lot of live action things. Sure, they're doing the How to Train Your Dragon, but now they're doing a series. Okay. And this is with Prime. And say what you say, about, sometimes Prime Video has stuff nobody watches, but when Prime Video gets behind a big project, they do it right. Like, look what they've done with The Boys. The Boys. That is a great show. Sure, not only the same audience, but look at shows like Invincible. Look at the new Lord of the Rings. How great that turnaround was. No one believed Lord of the Rings Rings of Power would be a great show. Like, season 1? Yeah, I'm done with the show. They do season 2. Everyone is loving it. Sure, there's some people who still don't like it, but people are saying it is great. And, that's Prime Video I love. It's like, the projects they take on always end up being winners. Look at Gen V. That was a spin-off of a show that no one really knew what The Boys was, and then they made Gen V. And Gen V, I still attest to this day that I'm pretty sure I love Gen V a bit more than The Boys right now, because Gen V was special for me, because like when a show comes out of nowhere and gets you excited like that, it's great. Now, the real question is since now we're getting this She-Ra live action show, will it be possible maybe one day to have He-Man and She-Ra crossover? Personally, I don't know if that's ever been a thing, guys. I'm not the biggest Masters of the Universe guy or She-Ra guy. But, I feel like these two would, if this does happen, if we get like a She-Ra times He-Man movie like that, I would think that would be really awesome. You have She-Ra, who's basically like this warrior princess, type character, versus He-Man, who's literally the strongest man in the universe. You put those two together, I think it'd be magic. But it all depends if this She-Ra show is good. I believe Amazon. I believe in Amazon. If they're gonna announce a big name project, I'm gonna be there for it. I'm definitely gonna be checking out the show. But what do you guys? will you check out this new She-Ra live-action show from Prime Video? Or do you think it's going to be a pass for you guys? Leave your comments down below, and let's move on to our second topic here today. And that is this. We all know we got a Spider-Man movie coming. Spider-Man 4 is coming. Spider-Man 4 is coming. And, we've already had, some great villains pop up in Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe. To Mysterio, to the Vulture, even the villains from the OG Spider-Man movies coming back. Well, the big question after those movies is like, are we going to see those OG villains we saw in No Way Home be in Tom Holland's universe, to add to his story, not just Tobey and Andrew's? And one person in particular who I think would make the perfect Green Goblin, Damon Lewis, he was asked about would he want to play his character. And this is according to comicbookmovie.com. The Radley star, Damon Lewis, talks Green Goblin fan cast and whether he's spoken to Marvel or DC. And this is like kind of what he had to say. He said, it hasn't come my way ever. No, it would, if you could make a call, that would be very much appreciated. I haven't seen any of that. That's interesting. Green Goblin. So wait a minute. Green Goblin is Spider-Man. He kind of makes like a little joke about it. Says like he really loves what Willem did with the role, and he's like they don't want Willem Dafoe to play the character again. What I think about this. If I'm thinking Norman Osborn, I'm thinking this maniacal billionaire who always is one step ahead of Peter Parker, who actually causes Peter Parker some of his most difficult trauma. I think Damon Lewis is perfect for the role. I'm going to say this. If you have not watched Billions, you need to watch the show because Damon Lewis on that show plays a character called Bobby Axelrod, who I think is one of the greatest TV characters I've seen in a long time. You watch that, I'm like, yeah, that's Norman Osborn. That is literally Norman Osborn. So I think Damon Lewis is the perfect person to go get to play a Norman Osborn Green Goblin. And looking at him, he also looks exactly like Norman Osborn. The question is, do I think he will take it? I don't think he would take it, though. I'm going to say this. We love fan castings. But when it comes down to it, I think what I've been seeing with Spider-Man, I think they're going to go for, I don't know if this is the type of, person they actually want to play Green Goblin. Who even knows if they have plans for Green Goblin? I would love to see Damon Lewis. I'm a big Damon Lewis fan. He's found tremendous success in TV. If that's the Homeland, if that's the Billions, who he starred upside Oscar nominee Paul Giamatti, which Paul Giamatti is great in that show as well. But would I want to see it? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think so. But guys, what do you think? Do you think Damon Lewis would make a great Green Goblin? Or do you think, they're going to go with someone else? Someone, a bit more higher name to play the role? Leave comments down below, and let's move on to our third topic here today. To continue on our Spider-Man themed stories, we got another one. We've been talking so much about Spider-Man. So much about Spider-Man 4. I remember the days when Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out. I was working at Starbucks, every single day. I was waiting for the trailer to come out for that movie. The trailer. But another big thing a while was the name of the movie. For months and months, I remember watching videos on like, what could the name possibly mean? And to a point where Sony tried to really mess with us by tweeting out fake names until they finally announced the title, Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, we know that the Home trilogy, which is what those three movies are, because they all have Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. That trilogy is over. John Watts' trilogy is over. I think John Watts did a terrific job, but now it's time for a new trilogy. And so we're going into a much older Peter Parker. We're going to see very much, Peter Parker on his own. He's not high school Peter Parker anymore. He's adult Peter Parker now. And, we've all been wondering, full of rumors, what could the name of this movie possibly be? Well, according to comicbookmovie.com, there's a new rumor going around that might show us what the title is. And it's a bit venomous, if I don't say so myself. Wink, wink. According to them, rumor, Spider-Man 4's title may have been revealed and is positively venomous. Now, of course, you guys want to know, what is the title? What is the rumored title of this movie going to be? According to a reliable scooper called Cryptic HD Quality on X, he says, take this with a grain of salt, but I've heard the next Spider-Man movie might be titled Spider-Man King in Black. What do I think about this title? It kind of tracks, with everything we're hearing that, oh, this is a Spider-Man Venom movie. And, I heard a lot of people online saying, like, I don't want a Spider-Man Venom movie. I want a grounded Spider-Man. Well, for the thing about it, we could possibly get both of the two worlds in here, One, we know Marvel really wants to make a grounded Spider-Man film. While the other side, Sony wants to make, a multiversal Venom, multiversal Spider-Man film, which I'm kind of a fan of multiverse. I'm kind of a fan, of that multiverse type story. I would prefer Ground Street, but, I was like, okay, they just want to do a multiverse movie with Andrew and Toby coming back? I don't really want that. But when they started saying, oh, no, my Spider-Man fans, this is going to be a Spider-Man and Venom team-up movie, I'm like, oh, I love Venom. I love Tom Hardy. I can see this. And, we already know. Noel is going to be in Venom The Last Dance. What I think is going to happen is that in Venom 4, we've already kind of been speculating. Noel is not going to be the main bad guy. Noel is going to be the looming threat. Noel is not a one-villain type character. This is a guy who can give Venom a run for his money. Who I think in a way can even give Thanos a run for his money. So you gotta build this guy up to be like your next big bad. And I remember so many years ago, I said this many times, where Tom Hardy, he was going the first Venom, he's like, his one dream was to get Spider-Man and Venom on screen together again. In the right way. And we've had 3 Venom movies. We know that Spider-Man will not be appearing in Venom 3. We know that. I think, this is called The Last Dance. I think this is the last Venom movie. But I think the final performance that Tom Hardy's going to give as Venom is in Spider-Man 4. Because I think, if you want Tom Hardy, a world-class actor, to come back to play a character people love, you get him to be in a Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. You get a Venom and Spider-Man team-up movie, kind of, I'm guessing kind of like a Lethal Weapon type situation where, you have Spider-Man and Venom bickering each other. Sure, you're going to have Spider-Man and Venom probably have a big fight scene. But then to come together to fight this bigger threat, no. And, I'm all in on this, because I just really want to see Spider-Man and Venom on screen together. And, I think if anyone could do it, I think it's Dustin Daniel Cretton. I say that for a reason, because Dustin Daniel Cretton, you guys gotta remember, they were gonna trust this man to do Avengers Kang Dynasty. They were gonna trust this man to do an Avengers movie. They're even trusting Mr. Dustin Daniel Cretton over at Lionsgate to make a Naruto movie. Yes, they're trusting him to do a Naruto universe over there. So, for some reason, this guy is someone who people trust with their movie, trust with a franchise. And I love Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi is one of the best new Marvel characters they've introduced in a very long time. And, I think he's perfect for Spider-Man, especially, with the type of story he told in Shang-Chi. It was such a powerful story. A story, that I really loved. I went to go see Shang-Chi 3 times. Like, that's great, and, I think he's perfect for this. And if this is a crossover movie, I'm in for the Venom Spider-Man crossover. And if it's street level, just Spider-Man and Daredevil going against Kingpin, I'm there for it too. But what do you guys think? Do you think this new title is a good title for it? Or do you guys really just want that street level Spider-Man movie? Personally, I'm okay with either. Personally, I'm leaning more towards now the Spider-Man versus and Venom team-up movie. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Let's move on to our 4th topic here today. And that is this. Joker, Flou à Blue 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 came out. That's my little running joke on the channel, guys. I call it Blah Blah Blue because I think the title of Joker 2 is one of the worst titles in history of a movie. Because, all the people I've talked to have not called it Joker Flou à Deux. I just call it Joker 2, I think it's a terrible name. But I got a chance to go see Joker 2. And ultimately, it was very disappointing for me. I didn't actually expect that much from a movie since I wasn't a fan of the first one. But, we've talked about the box office. And, I saw a lot of people, some other channels mentioned that, I said that the movie was going to make $26 million opening weekend. And I had people say, that's not true, man. This movie, it's Joker. He's the best Batman villain. It's going to make $80 million. It's going to make as much as it is. I'm like, really? Really? Because, the critics aren't liking the movie. This was like a month ago, guys. And I'm like, this movie ain't going to make a lot. Well, the box office is in for Joker 2. And it ain't good, guys. According to Deadline, Joker, Folie à Deux, bows to 121 million global. Overseas, taps expected range, but audience clearly not gaga over sequel. And, you're thinking like, 121 million? Oh, that's great. Guys, that's the worldwide total. Do you guys want to know what the domestic total is? Let's pull up Box Mojo. I go to box office. If you guys want to know about, what's the word for it? Box office. Go here. Go to Box Office Mojo. They'll tell everything you need to know. In its domestic opening weekend, Joker 2 made $40 million. That is apparently this is one of the lowest openings for DC, one of the lowest openings for a comic book film. Now, you're being like, okay, that's not that bad. $40 million is not okay. Alright, it's not okay. Well, let's go to Marvel's, which is Marvel's biggest flopped movie. Biggest flopped movie. So let's see what it opened to. The Marvels opened to $46 million, guys. $46 million. The Marvels, a movie based around Disney Plus characters, had a higher opening than a movie starring Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. That ain't good. Now let's go. That's just Marvel. It's Marvel. Oh, okay, of course we'll make more. Well, then let's go look at another movie. Let's look at Black Adam. Actually, no, not Black Adam. Let's look at The Flash. The Flash. You're like, okay, well maybe the Flash was not a total hit. That movie bombed. What did that make opening weekend? The Flash made $55 million opening dollars. Made $55 million opening weekend. So you look at this. The Flash, a movie that grossed a worldwide total of $271 million, made more than the Joker 2. You also gotta remember, guys, Joker 2 has a $200 million budget. $200 million! You heard me right. $200 million. This is about to be very, very bad for Warner Brothers. Number one, they did the thing that studios do all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, Joker 1 made $1 billion. That was in my review. Well, we're going to make it a bigger budget because we want a second movie. Sometimes more is not better. I'm gonna quote from a show I was watching yesterday. I just started watching The Franchise, which the franchise, if you guys want to check in The Franchise out and you're a movie fan, go check that show out. It's amazing. There's a little joke in there about, how there's this studio head who comes to the studio. He's like, there's this studio head who comes to the show, and he's talking to the director, who's played by Dana Brooke. He's like, we don't want the movie. People say, oh, superhero fatigue. It's not a real thing, and it's like, Mr. Studio Man, this isn't about superhero fatigue. You can have great superhero movies. Look at Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine was great. It was not the best Marvel movie of all time, but that movie went on to make $1 billion because it had a great story. People liked about it. People were excited about it. Just because you throw the name Joker on a movie, just because you put characters people know, doesn't mean box office success. And that's what we're seeing right here, guys. That Joker 2 has bombed so hard right now. Now, there are some other great stories this weekend that I think we need to talk about too. First off is the Wild Robot. Wild Robot, guys, has now passed the $100 million mark at the box office. A film that I honestly thought, when I first saw the trailers, that it would not pass. I did not think the Wild Robot would pass right here. I honestly didn't think so. Congrats to them for getting to the $100 million mark. I do believe this is my Oscar winner, and I'm so happy for them. We look at the box office, we look at Box Office Mojo, they only took a 47% drop. 47%! You don't really see that nowadays. Now, another movie I want to talk about, another anime movie, Transformers 1, is now at 97 million worldwide. Now, this is a big deal for me because, I'm looking at this movie and like, okay, we're not $100 million yet, but we're almost there. Guys, I'm telling you, please go see this movie. Go see Transformers 1. It is very important you go see this because what you're telling studios, if you're not going to see this movie, is that we want more Michael Bay rather than this. We want more explosions and more Megan Foxes, more supermodels instead of stories that are powerful in the Transformers world. And guys, that's going to be the little box office update I'm going to give you right now. Joker 2 falls greatly in its first weekend. Not looking like it's going to be the powerhouse we all thought it was going to be. But what do you guys think? And, leave your comments down below. Let's move on to our final topic here today. You guys know I've talked about Star Wars so many times. Star Wars. I'm not a fan of what they're doing in Star Wars right now. I think, Kathleen Kennedy has been making a lot of really, really dumbass decisions, especially with all the announced movies that have happened, and the recent shows we've got haven't really been so enticing. Especially The Acolyte, it was very disappointing for me. Ahsoka was okay, but still disappointing. And then there was Obi-Wan. I remember when that trailer dropped. It awoke something in me that I never thought it would. It got me excited about Star Wars again, that trailer. You're watching the first teaser trailer for Obi-Wan. He says, the fight is done. And then it goes into the Duel of the Fates theme. One of the best themes ever written in Star Wars. Donna! Mama! And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be the best thing Star Wars ever did. I watched the show. I was like, okay, I guess that was fun. There was things I did not like about it. There's been a lot of I have someone really close to me in my family who loves this, and he watches a lot of Star Wars theory, and he was telling me like, oh, did you know that they had this guy who was going to write this really, really cool Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, and Star Wars Theory did an interview about it, interviewed the guy who wrote that, and they never got back to him, so they didn't do the movie, of course, but ultimately Obi-Wan Kenobi was a loss. Well, according to ComboMovie.com, Obi-Wan might be coming back. According to them, Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 ideas are being explored at Lucasfilm, according to star Ewan McGregor. And, this is exciting, guys. This is exciting. The thing is, it's exciting, but also a little concerning. Because first, I would love to see Ewan McGregor come back and play Obi-Wan Kenobi, because originally they were going to do a trilogy of Obi-Wan films, which I'm down for. I'm down to see Ewan McGregor again. I'm down to see Hayden Christensen again as Darth Vader. But the thing is, if they're going to do this Season 2, they need to do a Rings of Power shift. What I mean by that is, Rings of Power had a disaster first season. Everyone hated it. Look at Season 2 now. People love it. People can't wait for Season 3. You gotta do a shift like this. Something needs to change, Lucasfilm. Something needs to change. You need to change your philosophy about making these shows. I love Dave Filoni. But there are times when I don't like Dave Filoni as a creator, because look at what he did with Ahsoka. He expected everyone watching Ahsoka saw Rebels, when most of the general audience for Star Wars on Disney Plus aren't watching those shows. I watched Ahsoka with my parents, and we're watching it, and I literally had to go in and explain, they're like, who's this character? Who's that? What does this mean? And, when you have a show doing that, that's a mistake. Personally, the person I would hire to do the show next season, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Bryce Dallas Howard. You gotta remember, guys, I think Bryce Dallas Howard is a great director. The daughter of Ron Howard. Look what the Star Wars episodes Bryce Dallas Howard has done. Have been great. Absolutely great. I think she would be a perfect choice for Obi-Wan. And I want to see Star Wars get back to where it was, Star Wars, was when Force Awakens was coming out, everyone was in on Star Wars. The prequels, people were in on Star Wars. There is now an idea about Star Wars that Star Wars makes okay content. I want to get back to when Star Wars used to be event films, event television, where it's like, oh, a new Star Wars show's coming out, you got to be there day one to watch it. I said the same thing with Marvel. You got to make your audience excited to watch your content. And, I think doing season 2, kind of retooling the creators, getting rid of, I think a new writers, a new showrunner would be a great thing to do. And I think if you brought in Bryce Dallas Howard, it'd be perfect for this series. But what do you guys think? Obi-Wan Kenobi might be getting a season 2. Do you think this is a great idea, or do you think this is kind of, not the best thing Lucasfilm should be doing right now? Leave your comments down below, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, go check out all our other content on our channel. And I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.